Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, August 13th of 2023. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves, in our daily lives, that create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. And today is one of my most favorite topics in the world, food and simplicity. There is nothing like our relationship with food that really covers everything from our personal healing, physical healing, our emotional healing, our spiritual healing, our connection with our bodies, our connection with the earth, our actions that we can take every day that can really help to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Our culture is so instilled in excess and in complexity, right? We love to eat until we are full, until we can really feel the fullness. And we love all kinds of concoctions and elaborate combinations of food. And the body, the physical body, cannot thrive on that. It cannot. If we overfill the stomach, our stomachs do not have, our stomachs actually have three kinds of motion. If we really want to get into the anatomy and physiology, it's fascinating. But the stomach needs space to actually churn the foods and digest the foods and coat the foods with the different secretions that are needed to break down the foods. If we take in too much at one time, our system can't adequately digest the foods, and we end up with situations that make our body sick, right? It goes into the small intestine, the yeast in the small intestine tries to break it down. If it can't do it, you can get yeast overgrowth, the SIBO, all kinds of stuff happening, and it's just really bad for your body. And on top of that, if there's too many different combinations or overfilling, it has that same effect, right? Because the body can only do so much, right? And it tries as best it can to compensate for our disharmony with its functioning. And it ends up it does the best it can, but it does get sick. We get sick. And not only that, then, it's an incredible form of waste because we are taking from the planet more than we can use. We're using it in a way that not only can we not really use it that way, but it makes us sick. And then that has a whole ripple effect into everything else in our lives and into our medical system and the drug and pharmacy system and our ability to function properly and to think clearly and to have adequate energy to really sustain us and make us happy and have good relationships. And when you feel bad, it affects everything. So this is, as I say, one of my most favorite topics when it comes to really inner peace and outer sustainability. So I'm excited to get into this with you today. My hope for today is that our meditation will help us to call in to consciousness what our conditioned food choices and eating habits are and seek to release the conditioning that does not serve the health of the body and the heart and the spirit and the planet. So, God willing, this will help simplify your food lifestyle, transform your personal well-being, and contribute to a more sustainable planet. All right, so let's go ahead and come into our meditation and healing circle. Let's come into our circle, sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. And let's bring everything to face toward the center of our circle. Everything to face toward the center of our circle. Together, let's call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light. Let's just call on this essence of pure divine light. Feel it streaming into the center of our circle, filling our entire space with this pure divine light. And just let this light, let it fall on your skin. Let it be absorbed into your pores. Breathe it in. As you inhale, draw this light in to your body, through your body, through your pores, through your nerves in your body, through your nervous system. Just cleanse and purify and settle. Restore your nervous system, your electrical system in your body to its original state before trauma, before conditioning, right, to its natural, innate state that resonates and pulsates with the laws of nature. The laws of nature, we are nature, we are earth, and we can't separate ourselves out from that. But because of the way that we're wired and the reason we're here, our nervous systems do get tweaked, and we certainly fall out of sync with nature, with the vibrations of nature. So as this light, let this pure divine light come in through your pores and travel through your body and settle your nervous system. So breathe it in on your inhale, and let your inhale, as it expands your body, let it make space for this light to come in. And as you exhale, let yourself drop in and land into your body and receive, receive, receive. Let this light travel through, settle your nervous system. And with each inhale, make more expansion, more space. With each exhale, drop in and relax into your body. Let yourself settle into your body, settle into your natural rhythm. Excuse me, and receive this pure divine light. Ya Nur. Nur is the pure divine light. And together, let's call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your unconditional love. To imagine, perceive, feel this unconditional love streaming into the center of our circle, and turn at your heart center, that funnel of energy that extends from the front of your chest. Turn that to face into the center of our circle, and let your heart funnel tip up slightly and receive this gentle waterfall of unconditional love as it flows into the center of your heart. And again, use your breath. Let your heart center be like a breathing portal, and inhale through your heart this pure, unconditional love. Inhale it in, and just let it trickle in through your heart, through whatever may be there, and all the way into your center. And as you exhale, just release any of the tension, the clutter, anything that may be clogging up the heart space. Inhale, draw in that pure divine light and unconditional love. Exhale, let's upright your spine and lean back into that space behind your heart, between your heart and your spine. Just lengthen your spine and just let yourself lean in to that space back behind your heart, between your heart and your spine, and rest into that space as you inhale, and let that gentle waterfall of unconditional love flow through your heart and just gently shower you with unconditional love, and invite your heart to receive this love, receive, and to be loved. Invite your heart to be loved. Receive this gentle waterfall of unconditional love and be loved. Be loved. Beloved, receive. Ya Wadud. Ya Wadud. Ya Wadud. That's the divine name for unconditional love. And again, together, let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your eternal compassion. Just imagine, perceive, feel this eternal compassion streaming in. And this eternal compassion is like an ocean, right? So it fills the space, but it also contains and supports and holds everything in the space. So let it just lift you and hold you, contain you, support you, and let yourself rest into it. Just trust and rest into it. It is your Rahman. This is the womb of compassion that is the container of our entire existence, the ocean of living consciousness that flows through everything, it holds everything, supports everything. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahman. Just breathe in this pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And as you exhale, let yourself drop down and land into this container of compassion that holds, supports, loves, embraces, accepts, completely supports you. Ya Rahman. And continue to breathe that in. Breathe with that pure divine light, unconditional love, eternal compassion. Breathing that in. And let's I just want to take another minute and really get rested into your body, settled into your body. This is really about tapping into your body's connection, your nervous system responses, your nervous system state, and being present with. Be present with what is, and if you can, let go of any judgment. Just be in a state of inquiry into your body of what is, without judgment. Right? Food is a very, oh boy, it's a place where we tend to get into a lot of judgment of ourselves and each other. And I certainly have my passion around food. Right now, I just want to talk to you about your connection with yourself and your body's needs and your body's innate wisdom and your body's connection with nature. So let yourself really drop into your body. And I'm taking all judgment off the table here. Just tap into your body, rest into your body, and listen. Listen to your heart. Listen to your body. And just breathe with it. We are conditioned in so many ways. Oh, from the minute the umbilical cord is cut, we are conditioned emotionally, in the way that we're nurtured, in the way that we're fed, in the way that we're pacified, in the way that we're disciplined, in everything. It affects our conditioning and our relationship with sustenance, with nurturing, with provision, with survival, all of that. And it influences our connection with our bodies and with food. It's amazingly powerful. When you are in the womb, You're connected to your sustenance through the umbilical cord that comes directly into your belly, connects directly into your belly. When you are born and you leave the womb, that umbilical cord is cut. Ideally, the first thing is that we're held close to the heart, to the mother's heart. And ideally, we are fed from the breast. Now, in my day, when I was young and Dr. Spock was king, most people did not breastfeed. So a lot of us missed out on that. And that affects our connection with food and sustenance and nurturing. It's, it's kind of like you can't separate those completely. Our sense of survival, our sense of sustenance, our sense of nurturing, our sense of nutrition, like it's all connected. It's all connected. And so we have that programming from early on. And then comes the conditioning, what we're fed, how often we're fed, how much we're fed, what we're exposed to. Things from a package versus things from the earth, things that have been processed and don't look like anything that ever grew in the ground or on a tree. And then, the beautiful fruits and vegetables and the foods that come directly from the earth. They're all a part of our conditioning. I did a program with 6th and 7th grade students when I was in Florida about food addiction and what was it? Food addiction and I can't remember exactly what it was called, but I asked them a series of questions about what their favorite foods were, and they told me their favorite foods, which were all things that you would eat at dinner. And then when I said, "What's your favorite junk food?" Oh boy, they jumped out of their chairs, like jumping up and down like crazy and shouting out all these names. And I said, "Okay, this tells me two things. And I bet this is true for you too. Think about it. Number one, you know the difference between real food and junk food. And number two, that you get way more excited for the junk food than you do for the real food. And why is that? Right? That is conditioning, it's engineering, it is, things that are created in a laboratory to make our little pleasure centers in our brains go on fire, like as if we're taking drugs, right? And that's all part of of what we get programmed around, right? That's why an apple isn't as satisfying anymore as, an on fire apple pie that's full of all kinds of cinnamon and sugar, right? But there are natural ways to have natural ingredients we can use to combine foods that combine well together and eat in proper amounts, right? So amounts, what's a proper amount? Something that doesn't overfill your stomach. Your stomach actually has 3 different motions that it needs to make in order to digest your foods. And if it's too full, it can't make those motions. My teacher used to talk about having 1/3, filling your stomach 1/3 full with food and leaving 1/3 for the liquid, the gastric juices, and 1/3 for air. So you have plenty of room. And if you eat slow enough, your stomach has time to send messages to your brain that says, okay, I'm good now, right? But we tend to eat real fast. And before we know it, the stomach's over full and we're feeling it like, ooh, I'm really full now, right? And at that point, it's pushing up on the diaphragm and into the lungs, and the stomach can't really have the full motion that it needs. It takes longer to digest, and it can't fully digest what's in it, in which case then things get sent out into the small intestine, not in the, like the stomach didn't have space to do its full job. So then the small intestine has to try to make up for it, through yeast that will break some things down. And then when that has too much of a job to do, foods go undigested and yeast overgrows and we get SIBO and eventually IBS and, all kinds of things like that. So it really, really does matter. Literally has a ripple effect. So conditioning. Just ask to call up those programmings, the conditionings that you've taken on in your lifetime from wherever, whether it's family rituals and gatherings and mealtime practices, what you've been taught in the home, the commercials, going out to restaurants that, you're not meant to have a 5-course meal. Let me just say, for the most part, right? Maybe if it is designed correctly so that your body can digest all of the foods together and they're not too big of portions, but nonetheless, but just call up what are the conditionings that you have been subjected to, that you have taken on around your relationship with food that do not support the needs of your body. So really, again, just breathe in and drop into your body. Tune into what your body needs. And then look kind of out here, a little bit outside of yourself, for what is that conditioning? And call those up into the space in front of you. And I have a question for you to ask yourself. For these conditioned, programmed habits and beliefs around food, are you willing to let those go? And it may be yes for some and no for others, and that's okay. What are you willing to let go of? Call on your angels and guides for help and support around this. The next question, are you ready to let them go now? I know my response around some things that are coming up is yes, please. Yes, please. So for those that you're ready to let go of now, let's call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your angels, prophets, healers, helpers, guides, all who are here to help and support your earth journey, and ask them to take that programming, that imprinting, those thoughts, beliefs, the energy patterns, and release them from your energy body. Release the energetic template and release it, erase it from your mental body. Release the emotional attachment from your heart. Release from your soul. Integrate any soul teachings or wisdom around that and release the need from the soul. And bring healing and homeostasis to the physical body. So the physical body can release its dependence or habitual programming or addictions to any of those habits or combinations. Shafi. Shafi is the healer, divine healer. And just let yourself again take a full breath, drop into your center, into that vertical core of your body, the space behind your heart. Lean into that space behind your heart and breathe, and just be a witness to any releasing of energy, transforming of energy that's happening inside your body. Just be a witness to that. And trust on the innate wisdom of your body. And just call on that innate wisdom of your body to really come in and fill that space with the wisdom, the natural wisdom of your body, of the earth, right? Your body is earth. You are not separate from earth. Your body is earth. You're not separate from earth. Let yourself rest into your body and let the innate wisdom from the body come in and take up the space and write its natural programming into that space that is being cleared out. And be with that. I'm going to read a couple of things from some of the Divine Names books. I think I'll start with the Sufi Book of Life by Neil Douglas Klotz. On his chapter on Rahim, which is the mercy, the moon of love, as he calls it, he tells a story. Sometimes we receive and receive and receive, but when we're taking in foods, but we don't actually or shall I say, we input, but we don't fully receive it and contain it. Like we don't contain it. It just goes in, and energetically, we're not like really receiving it and containing it. So he tells a story about one of the kind of wise village idiots that he tells stories about Nasruddin, Mullah Nasruddin. And he says, one day a student of the legendary wise fool Mullah Nasruddin went to visit him at his home. Already expecting some crazy behavior on Mullah's part, he steeled himself to not react. Another spiritual teacher once advised him, if you react unconsciously, you push the lesson of the moment away. When Mullah opened the door, he was overjoyed to see his student. My friend, just in time. You can help me draw water from the well. Here, take this bucket and follow me. The student followed Mullah to the well and watched while he began to pull water from the well and splash it into the bucket that the student was holding. No problem, he thought to himself. After a few moments, he began to notice that the level of the water in the bucket was not rising very quickly. Where was all the water going? Then he chanced to look underneath the bucket. It was leaking almost as much as Mullah was putting in each time. This went on for a while, and then finally the student couldn't take it anymore, and he cried out in exasperation, Mullah, you idiot! Can't you see that the bucket is leaking? My friend, Mullah responded, I was only looking at the top of the bucket. What does the bottom have to do with it? Right? So think of that as you drop into your container, your body. How many times do we take in without really, where energetically we have a leaky bucket. It's like we take in and we take in and we take in, and that bottom of the bucket is not sealed. So just take a minute now and just ask for that bottom of the bucket. Tune into the bottom of the bucket and let the bottom of the bucket be sealed and secured so that what you take in, you are receiving and containing. Receiving and containing. And then I want to read from, where is it? Another of the divine names, which is about sustenance, and it's our razak. Razak. It's about sustenance. Put on my other glasses so I don't have the. Here we go. It says, when you are guided toward this pathway, take the opportunity to receive the nourishing sustenance of the one being and to explore your relationship to feeding and being fed. So let's just call on Ya Razak, calling on the divine power of sustenance, of the provider provision. So we're calling in that vibration. Let that vibration really come in, breathe it in. Because inside your being, you already know this. It's a part of your life force energy, your ocean of living consciousness that gives consciousness into your physical form. It's already there. So as we call this in, let it really awaken and enliven your inner knowing of sustenance and provision. And he refers to the story about Nasruddin's leaky bucket. And he says, no matter how much we receive, it may never be enough if we do not create a conscious, embodied container for it. So again, drop into your body, be with the container, bring your consciousness to the container to really seal the bottom and the sides and the edges of the container. In this pathway of our heart, we work further on developing the container. When we realize that all nutrition comes from the One, in whatever form, then what we consume becomes less important than the way in which we unite with the life energy that it provides. So, and I think that what we consume is important because it is our connection with Earth. But he's right in saying that it is at least as important, if not more important, how we unite with the life energy that it provides, because that's what really brings us into right relationship with it, to be able to receive from it, to not need to overfill, overconsume, and only take what we need from the earth. If we take more, it hurts us. That's the whole thing. When we take more, it not only hurts the earth, it hurts us, because the body can't use it, and it has a negative impact when we overfill and when we put in too many things that can't digest well together. We are always surrounded by this life energy, but as Rumi notes, we often don't recognize it, ignoring the flow of blessings around us. And this is from Rumi, says, even the hills and fields are flowing. So why do you feel you're all alone? Here's hugging you to yourself. The world is a tree bowed down with fruit, while you bend over stealing rotten apples. The recognition of the earth's bounty also lays on us the responsibility to share it. In fact, sharing it seems to be the key to discovering this quality within us. The following saying of Muhammad invokes an ancient tradition of hospitality and sharing, similar to one expressed by Jesus in the Gospels. On the day of resurrection, Allah, God, will proclaim, children of Adam, I asked you for food and you didn't feed me. The souls will respond, O sustaining one, how could we feed you who already command all levels of existence? Weren't you aware of my servants who asked for food and you didn't feed them? Don't you know that if you had fed them, you would have discovered me through this gift? Perhaps life is calling you right now to feel a more grounded way of containing life energy, a way that secures the bottom of your bucket. In working with your own inner self, you can use this pathway to explore how we receive and who is really asking for sustenance. So again, calling on Ya Razak, Ya Razak, invoking the life force, the divine power of sustenance, provision. Really let this come in, breathe it into your body, let it permeate through your body all the way into your core, and let it awaken your own inner knowing and your innate wisdom of provision and sustenance. It knows the provision, your inner being knows the provision, it knows the sustenance, it knows how much it knows what it needs. It knows how to harmonize with the earth. So inhaling in, inhale, and as you inhale, let's do this one. Let's draw your energy into the core of your body, all the way into your vertical core. Again, upright your spine, lengthen your spine, and draw all of your energy into this vertical core that runs through the top of your head, along the front of your spine, and through your base. Drawing all of your energy into this very center, and as you exhale, drop down, land into your hips, and just feel your energy. You might want to shift your hips, move around a little bit, and let your energy move through your hips, through your base, through your legs, and down into the earth. And really let yourself feel your connection with the earth as your energy moves onto the surface of the earth, and really touching into the ground cover, the grass, the soil, and let it hang out there at this level for a minute. And just feel the earth, feel that connection with earth, and just let that, again, that innate wisdom of the earth and the soil just travel up through your energy body, really awakening your own knowing of that innate wisdom and feeding you, nourishing you with that vibration and that knowledge. Inhale into your vertical core, and as you exhale, now drop down and let your energy move down another foot or so into the earth, again into the deeper, richer layers of soil, all of the mineral content there, the rock, the water. Let it move a couple more feet. And at each layer, just hang out and breathe that layer. Breathe in the sustenance. Breathe in the knowledge, the wisdom. And as you breathe it in, let it come up through your base, into your belly, and all the way along your vertical core, right into your heart, so that you're fed on all of these levels. Your energy body knows its need for sustenance and its connection with sustenance. Inhale all of this into your vertical core, elongate your spine, make that space and let it be filled. And as you exhale, drop down, land into your hips, and let your energy go down a little bit more, all the way to 10 feet, 12 feet. And hanging out with the soil, with the water, the moisture, the rocks, the minerals, the whole ecosystem there. And just let your energy body hang out here, and just like let that transference of information from the earth transfer into your body, your energy body, and let that move up through this energy connection all the way into your body, really filling you with that innate wisdom from the earth, innate wisdom from the soil, innate wisdom from the plants, innate wisdom from the water, from the minerals, from this sustenance that sustains you, that feeds you. I'm going to pull up a quote from Francis Moore Lapay, who wrote Diet for a Small Planet. It's one of the first books I read when I switched to a vegetarian diet. It says the act of putting food into your mouth, the act of putting into your mouth what the earth has grown is perhaps your most direct interaction with the earth. That's from Francis Moore Lapay, Diet for a Small Planet. The act of putting into your mouth what the earth has grown is perhaps your most direct interaction with the earth. The earth is that which provides our sustenance and our provision for our physical bodies, for you to be fed, to be nourished, and to be nurtured. You are in the womb of your Mother Earth here. You are contained. Really let that feel. And if there's anything else popping up as this is coming in and filling the space in your body, if there's anything else that's popping up, let's just go ahead and make a call to our source. Ask for that to be released. Ask for help from the angels, prophets, saints, healers, helpers, guides, teachers, all who are here to support your journey on this earth, your journey of returning to wholeness and to your innate wisdom. And just ask them to help you release anything else from your body, from your energy body, from your physical body, from your emotional heart, from your mental programming, and from your soul. And that this innate wisdom be integrated through your entire being on all levels. Your physical body really come to rest and be in relationship, in right relationship with your true sustenance and the wisdom of the earth. And that your emotional heart turn to be filled and nourished and elated with this connection with the true sustenance that supports you. And that your energy body really settle into a harmonious state, a harmonious rhythm with this nature. And that your mental body has come to delight in being in service to your body in its true connection with earth. And that your soul integrate all of the teachings it's received through your journey around this topic and just integrate the wisdom so that your entire being, your body, your mind, your heart, your energy body, your soul, and your spirit are all in sync and in alignment with the innate wisdom, your oneness with nature, and your belonging in nature, and your physical sustenance and physical health. I'm going to read one more thing from Fauzia's book. That's this one, The Divine Names, 99 Healing Names of the One Love. A Sufi was once asked, "What do you live on?" And he replied, "From the day when I knew my creator, I stopped doubting my provider." So do not ignore the flow of blessings that surround you. And it says, "O you who hold open all the doors to your gifts, be they compassion or daily bread, make us rich by being content." Right? Right now in our community for conscious living, we've been focusing on contentment and on simplicity as a way of life rather than looking for abundance and more. We're looking at contentment and simplicity as a way of life to help with our own physical health and mental well-being and emotional well-being, spiritual well-being, as well as the sustainability of the planet. I know it's still August, but we're going to be moving into holiday season. And so I really want us to have time to work with this over the next couple of months before we start going into buying season and, gift buying and food buying, everything else, so that we can really rethink our habits and form new habits, hopefully, before we move into this season, so that we can really lessen our impact. If you haven't already, really, we want to minimize our impact on the planet as we're moving into this season. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, so I'm excited to be moving on this. So please stick with us over these next few months and actually to the end of the year, as we're going to be focusing on the importance of how our actions and our practices and our buying habits and our eating can have an impact on the planet in hopefully some beautiful ways. So that will ripple to production, right? Because that's where a lot of it, a lot of the change needs to happen. But production does respond to what we buy. So we all want to do our part from all the different places, all the different places along that cycle. Okay. So let's end with gratitude. Gratitude for what you have released, gratitude for what you have received, gratitude for what has transformed within you and what will continue to transform over time. And let's ask for guidance as we continue down this path to live in simplicity and contentment, knowing that we have what we need and we will take from the earth only what we need to sustain ourselves and the planet. Amen. All right. And with that, I'm going to end our Facebook Live. If you're on Facebook, there's a link in the description there. You're welcome to join us for Q&A. We move now into the Q&A. You're welcome to join us for the Q&A. You can find that link there. Click on that link and join us by phone or computer. If you're listening to the recording, you're invited to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. You can find information for joining us live at communityforconsciousliving.com, communityforconsciousliving.com. While you're there, sign up to receive the reminders and the replays, and you'll also receive 2 free gifts. One is a one-sheet reminder of the truth of who and what we are and why we're here, what this world is about. It helps us to just remember, because our daily life makes us to forget. And you'll also receive a 15-minute downloadable guided meditation to help you to connect in with your connection with and innate knowing of pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion, the core of who you are. All right. I thank you so much for being here, and we're opening now for Q&A.